She is not hysterical. She is smiling. Christopher Nolan built one of the greatest deceptions in cinema history. Not the dream within a dream, not the spinning top. This deception. He made you mourn the man who destroyed her. Mal didn't lose her mind. She was the only person who understood exactly what her husband was capable of, and she died proving it. Inception, the woman who was right. What you are about to see is not the film Nolan told you he made. It is the film hiding underneath it, the suppressed infrastructure of a story built on one foundational deception, that the woman on the ledge was the one who had lost her mind. She hadn't. And the evidence was in every frame. You just weren't meant to find it. Here is what the film sold you. A love story. A broken man. A father who only wants to go home. Nolan wrapped this film in the warmest visual language cinema possesses. Gold light. Soft focus. The swelling architecture of Hans Zimmer's score. Every frame of Cobb's memories of Mal is warmer than any frame of the waking world. The color grammar is not accidental. It is a predatory mechanism. Warmth coded as memory. Memory coded as truth. And truth, Nolan's version of truth, coded as a man's grief. But here is what the warmth was hiding. Before this film begins, before the mission, before the team, before a single frame of footage rolls, Dominic Cobb entered his wife's subconscious. Without her knowledge, without her consent, he located the most private architecture of her mind, the place where she kept her totem, her anchor, the one instrument maintaining her rational boundary between dream and reality. And he destroyed it. He corrupted it. He planted the idea, surgically, at the neurological level, that her world was not real. The film calls this a rescue. He did not bring her back because she was in danger. Mal was not in danger. Mal was happy. She had chosen to stay in limbo. She had made a conscious, sovereign decision about what her reality would be. And Cobb, because he wanted to leave, overrode it. He made a unilateral decision about what was real for another person, performed in secret, on the person he claimed to love most. This is not a tragedy. This is the anatomy of how consent is erased by someone who believes they are helping. Think about the implications of that. Every system of coercive control, every documented pattern of psychological abuse, identifies the same foundational act. The moment the abuser decides they understand the victim's reality better than the victim does, and acts on that decision, without asking. Inception did not invent this mechanism. It dramatized it, dressed it in wonder, and handed it to you as a love story. Mal returned to the real world carrying damage she did not cause. She woke up knowing, feeling in the most visceral way a mind can feel, that something had been done to her perception. She didn't know the exact mechanism. She only knew that reality could not be trusted implicitly, because her husband had shown her it couldn't be, and she did what any rational, precise mind would do. She gathered evidence. She contacted lawyers. She documented her belief. She built a case. The chilling reality, Mal's so-called madness, was the rational conclusion of her lived experience. Stop. Do not listen to the score. The score is telling you to be afraid of her. Now watch her face. Marion Cotillard is not playing a monster. She is playing a woman in distress. Her eyes, every single time she appears in this film, are not predatory. They are desperate. 3 different dream levels. One consistent truth in her performance. She is not attacking. She is trying to reach him. Now examine what Mal's projection actually does each time she appears. She shoots Fisher, the one action that would force the mission to stop. She exposes the operation's weakest points. You know this is a dream. She tells him directly that he knows he is dreaming. She is not the saboteur. She is the most accurate intelligence operative in the film. Every act the film labels as sabotage is tactically correct. She attacks the mission at its genuine vulnerabilities. She identifies the real structural threats. She names the suppressed truth every time she opens her mouth. And every time she does, he shoots her. He suppresses her. In every dream level, on every mission, the same action, the same protocol. Label her perception as a threat. Eliminate it. Move on. His subconscious didn't generate Mal as a punishment. It generated her as a confession. Here is the mechanism the film buried in its own psychology. Cobb's mind chose Mal's face for the projection of his buried knowledge. Not a stranger, not an abstraction, her, because she was the last person to tell him the truth about himself. And his subconscious, the part of him that cannot lie, the part of him that knows, keeps sending her back, down through every level, through every layer of the constructed dream. His own mind, wearing her face, telling him to stop. The villain of Inception is not Mal's projection. It is Cobb's refusal to hear it. Now, the totem. The film's central symbol of truth. Every viewer knows it. Nolan shoots it with obsessive precision. Close-ups, trembling camera, breathless anticipation every time Cobb sets it spinning. But watch whose hands are holding it. That is Mal's totem, not Cobb's. He took it after she died. The film's own rules are explicit. A totem only functions if no one else knows its mechanics. The moment another person understands how your totem behaves in a dream, it is compromised, finished, useless as an instrument of truth. Cobb knows exactly how Mal's top behaves in a dream. He knows because she told him. He built the system. He identified the flaw. And then he picked up the broken instrument and called it his anchor to reality. He is not checking reality every time he spins that top. He is performing the appearance of checking. A man holding a compass he already knows is broken, because a working compass would require him to face the answer. Now, the one person in this film who gets close enough to see the truth, Ariadne, the architect. She hears him admit what he did to Mal's totem. She sees the city they built together, every building a record of a shared consciousness Cobb violated and then abandoned. She understands enough to confront him. You can't keep her memory alive by entering her mind. And then, she helps him complete the mission anyway. She cries for him. She forgives on Mal's behalf, without Mal's consent, without Mal's knowledge, without ever hearing Mal's account. And the film, the conspiracy at the center of this story, accepts her forgiveness as sufficient, as closure, as enough. Ariadne didn't save Cobb. She completed the cover-up. Think about the existential threat embedded in that single narrative decision. Every architecture of harm has a figure close enough to intervene. Someone with enough information, someone with enough access. Ariadne was that figure. She saw what Cobb did, she understood its weight, and she chose the mission over the truth, not out of malice, out of the same quiet, volatile logic that keeps most bystanders complicit. The operation was already in motion. Her role was already defined. The cause seemed important enough. Every single member of Cobb's team was given his version of why Mal was dangerous. Arthur, Eames, Yusuf, Ariadne, Saito. Not one of them ever met her. Not one of them ever asked for her account. The ancient protocol of the predatory system. Control the narrative at the source. Make sure the witness is only ever described by the person who needed her silenced. The most dangerous conspiracies don't need evil people. They only need people willing to prioritize the mission. This is where the suppressed truth comes closest to the surface. Two men entered limbo simultaneously. One has aged decades. One has not aged at all. The film moves past this in under 30 seconds. It does not want you to sit with it. Sit with it. By this film's own internal logic, time in limbo is subjective, relative to the mind's attachment to that place. Saito aged because some deep biological part of him knew he did not belong there. His mind registered the passage of time because it was waiting to leave. Cobb did not age, because limbo is not foreign to him. He built a life here. He and Mal grew old here together, in the city that still stands, crumbling but intact. Every street a physical record of the consciousness he violated and then left behind. Watch how he moves. No hesitation, no disorientation, no fear. A man returning to a place he knows. He wasn't rescuing Saito from limbo. He was a long-term resident showing a tourist the exit, while remaining behind himself. Imagine a man so fractured by what he has done, that the only place his mind finds genuine rest is the ruins of the world he built with the woman he destroyed. He keeps returning, across the film, across the mission, across every dream level, not because the operation demands it, because the architecture of his guilt is located here, because Mal is here, in every wall he constructed with her hands alongside his, in every street they designed together, in the totem in his pocket, her totem, not his, that he carries like a relic of a person he refuses to fully mourn, because mourning would require admission. And now, the ending. Inventory every shot of Cobb's children across this entire film. They are always from behind. Identical clothes, identical positions, identical actions. Healthy memory has variance. People age, moments shift, details change. Pathological memory loops. These children are not growing in Cobb's mind. They are frozen, a fixed image, returned to again and again and again, like a totem spun in the mind to test whether there is still a reason to keep going. And here, the most suppressed moment in the entire film. In every previous scene, every single prior instance, Cobb watches the totem with visible, physical, desperate anxiety. He leans in, he holds his breath, he cannot look away. His survival depends on the answer. In the final scene, he walks away. He stopped checking. The film calls this healing, liberation, a man finally free from his compulsion to verify, finally able to trust, finally home. The chilling reality, the compulsion to verify, was the only protection. By his own framework, the one he taught Ariadne, the one his entire career was built upon, the moment you stop checking the totem is the moment the dream wins. He is not healed, he is captured. And the children turn. For the first time in the entire film, they face the camera. They face him. Note precisely when their faces are shown. After the top is already spinning. After Cobb has already walked away. After the test has already been abandoned. The camera gives him the faces he wanted only inside the possible dream. The unveiling that cannot be undone. Nolan gave you the homecoming. He hid the spinning top behind Cobb's shoulder. He trusted the music, the warmth, the ancient human need for the earned ending, to make you feel too relieved to turn around and check. Return to her. Now you have everything. She contacted lawyers. She staged the room. She documented her belief with the systematic precision of someone who understood that her perception had been violated, and that no institutional mechanism would acknowledge it unless she forced it into the open. This is not the behavior of a woman who has lost her grip on reality. This is the behavior of a woman applying the empirical method to an existential crisis. If she jumps and the world ends, she was right. It was a dream. If she jumps and the world continues, if the sirens come, if the law intervenes, if one system finally acknowledges that something was done to her, then she has her verdict. She was not choosing death. She was forcing a verdict on the man who took her mind apart and called it love. The system gave her the window ledge. Cobb got the children. Cobb got the grief. Cobb got Leonardo DiCaprio's face performing devastation for 2 hours and 28 minutes. And the film, executing the oldest predatory protocol in storytelling, handed him the audience's sympathy without asking a single question about what he had done to earn it. The spinning top was never his, it was hers, the last object that knew what had been done to her. And at the end of the film, the man who broke her is still holding it, still spinning it, still walking away before it falls. Imagine every film you have ever loved, every story built around a man's pain, every narrative where the woman at the center exists primarily as the wound that explains his journey. Now ask, whose account did you never hear? She was the story. They made her the backdrop. Think about the existential threat this film concealed beneath its architecture of wonder. The most ancient conspiracy in storytelling is not political. It is not financial. It is the decision made in the edit suite, in the color grade, in the scoring session, about whose suffering becomes the plot and whose becomes the backdrop. Mal was the plot. They made her the backdrop. The most dangerous deceptions are not the ones that ask you to believe a lie. They are the ones that give you just enough warmth, just enough music, just enough of a spinning top and 2 children to make you choose not to look closer. Cobb didn't go home. He built a dream of going home, crawled inside it, and called it salvation, while the woman who knew the truth has been waiting on that ledge for every rewatch, in every frame, asking you to finally hear her. Now, the question this film was built to prevent. Was Mal a victim of the man she loved? Or was Mal the only one of them who was ever truly awake? Leave your answer below, because that comment section is about to tell us everything about how we choose whose reality we believe. If this truth disturbed you, good. Smash like and subscribe. Sandra Pulse Cinema has more dark truths waiting.